I was pouring wine when I heard it. The study door cracked open just enough. His father's voice slipped through like a knife. "Your wife? She doesn't deserve a cent. She's out of the family." Silence. Then my husband's quiet nod, the kind of silence that betrays agreement. I froze, my hand hovering, the wine trembling in the glass. And in the gilt-framed mirror across the hall, I caught my own reflection. I was smiling. They thought they had cornered me. What they didn't know, what they never imagined, was that the trap was mine all along. We hadn't always been enemies. When I first met him, he was magnetic, eyes lit with ambition, words heavy with promises. He told me I was his anchor, his equal. For years I believed him. I built his world beside him, brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice. I learned the language of contracts, balance sheets, inheritance law, not because I wanted to, but because he needed me to. Love blurred into duty. Duty blurred into power. Then one day, I saw the blur sharpen. It was subtle at first. He started taking calls on the balcony, his voice low, urgent. A new passcode on his phone. Nights where he came home late, smelling of his father's cigars, carrying silence like a shield. The first real crack came with a slip of paper, left in his suit jacket, a bank memo. Accounts with my name nowhere on them. Millions shifted, siphoned, concealed. Money I had helped him make. Money he thought he could hide. I didn't confront him. I didn't cry. Instead, I filed it away like a chess move I'd already anticipated. The night I heard his father's whisper, I knew the endgame had begun. So I poured the wine, smiled into the mirror. And after dinner, while he slept beside me, I moved every dollar into the offshore account I had prepared. It wasn't an impulse. It was the culmination of months, years of quiet preparation. Encrypted trails, blind trusts, layers no lawyer of his could untangle. Every cent wore my fingerprints now, though no one would ever see them. The morning after, I kissed him on the cheek, handed him his coffee, and watched him leave for work. He didn't notice the calm in me, or maybe he mistook it for surrender. That was his first mistake. Weeks passed. I played my role perfectly. The patient wife, the smiling hostess, the woman they thought they could outmaneuver. Meanwhile, I built walls around the fortune, brick by invisible brick. I consulted lawyers he didn't know existed. I signed documents he would never find. I bought silence where it mattered most. He thought the house was his kingdom, but the deed, rewritten in quiet corners, now bore only my name. The confrontation came sooner than I expected. A lawyer's letter slid across the marble table, his move to file for divorce. Irreconcilable differences, as if betrayal could be boiled down to paperwork. He expected me to beg, to fight for scraps. He expected tears. Instead, I slid a folder across the table. Bank records, offshore transfers, property deeds. His signature on documents he never knew he signed, because I had learned long ago how to guide his hand at the right moments, to bury my own clauses in the contracts he barely skimmed. His face drained of color. The man who once commanded boardrooms, speechless. "You were so busy building empires," I said quietly, "you forgot who was holding the foundation." He tried to call his father. I let him. I watched from across the room as he spat panic into the receiver, begging for rescue. But I had already cut that line. His father's assets were exposed, liabilities unearthed. Every shadow I had traced, every ledger I had studied, it all led back to the old man. By the time the call ended, both men were drowning, and I hadn't even raised my voice. The climax wasn't loud, no screaming, no broken glass, Just the slow realization on their faces as they understood I wasn't out of the family, I was the family. The money, the power, the house. Every piece they thought was theirs now sat firmly in my hands. When the lawyers finalized the divorce, he walked out with nothing but his name. A name soon tarnished by scandal, debts, and whispers of incompetence. His father, once a titan, was left clawing at walls that no longer existed. And me? I was free. Sometimes I still catch my reflection in that same mirror. I don't smile as often anymore. Not because I regret it, but because I don't need to. They taught me betrayal. I taught them consequence. The truth is, I never wanted revenge. I wanted respect. But when respect is denied, revenge becomes the only language men like them understand. And I am fluent.